won 5 in a row. The Pack had 8-2, their identical record to a year ago when they won it all. So why is Mike Holmgren telling his Packer team this might be the most dangerous game they face all year?
Well, I think he fears that they're walking into a hornet's nest. I mean, a team that has been called losers in 10 efforts trying to get something done. Now you have a desperate situation with desperate guys. So desperate things are going to occur from that. And I think Mike's concerned about that. Also, he's concerned that he can't control the human nature side of things. His team is preparing for an 0-10 team. It's hard to get up for.
Paul Justin is the quarterback for that 0-10 team, and he's playing with ligament damage to his left non-throwing hand. How in the world can the Colts hope to make a game of this?
Well, offensively, the first thing they have to do is eliminate mistakes. Penalties and mental errors have killed them. Now, schematically, they need to run the ball. Marshall Faulk, pound the ball at him. Green Bay defense has been suspect at times this season, giving up against the run. Defensively, the Colts need to dominate the line of scrimmage, be physical up front, and also be physical against the wide receivers outside. They have a new wide receiver starting. Derek Mays gets his first start. Jam him at the line of scrimmage, disrupt his routes.
This is the first time in his NFL career the quarterback Brett Favre has ever faced the Colts, and he has brought 15,000 of his favorite Packer backers with him. In Indianapolis today, the Colts will get the football first, and for Mike Holmgren, dissatisfied with his special teams play, and in particular Bill Schrader fumbling kickoff returns, he's made the radical move of signing this free agent in Roel Preston, last with the Atlanta Falcons, and handing him the kickoff return duties.
Well, you know, the guy's been out since training.
The 25 to the 26-yard line. And Green Bay will go on offense first. Quarterback once again by the two-time most valuable player in the National Football League, Brett Favre, who has played in the Dome in exhibition encounters, but not in a regular season game. So Favre, who hurled his 20th touchdown pass of the year last week in the Lambeau win over the Rams, sets him down. Play action. Off the fingertips of Mark Chmura, upfield at the 40-yard line. How will Green Bay be affected by the absence of the injured Robert Brooks? And Favre hunting him his top target. Derek Mays marking his first start. There you see the offensive line, and Chmura, the tight end, who just lost the ball a bit high, off his fingertips. Derek Mays attended Notre Dame, went to North Central High School in this city.
Well, I was surprised to see them come out throwing so early. You know, Brett has been erratic at times when he has to open the game throwing the ball.
Sets up the screen and throws to Levens. First down and much more. Down the sidelines he sails, back to the heart of the field, and tripped up at the 20-yard line by Jason Belzer. It's a gain of 56.
That screenplay is something that they haven't been using over the last 3 weeks in their offense. Sherm Lewis said, we're going to get this back into the sync again. And one of the reasons they haven't been using it much because teams have been blitzing him so much. This play takes a little time to develop. It's timing outside. But once you get those big offensive linemen down in front of you, you can see Levens has a seam. And what a start for the Packers. I mean, this isn't what the Colts needed.
The 4 wide receivers set now, and that includes Bill Schrader and Don Beebe. Favre throwing, flips, he has it complete to William Henderson, the fullback. First and goal, Green Bay. He picks up 15 more. Steve Martin, the tackle, knocked him down. You hear all the Packer backers in this stadium today, too?
They brought a lot with them. Watch, they spread them out. See, all the wide receivers are outside, and there's one back in the backfield, and when everybody's covered, you just throw to the check down. That's Henderson underneath. And he's been effective this year, not only as a fullback, a blocking guy, but for that reason right there.
Lindy and Fonnie believing that his Colts could be physical with the Packers. It's been all Green Bay in this initial possession. 2 tight ends, Chmura and Tyrone Davis. Levens in motion. Favre looks into the end zone, throws, caught, touchdown Green Bay. Darcy Levens.
Darcy Levens, but all Brett Favre. Classic Brett Favre. Had 2 or 3 people hanging on him, and he throws a direct line right to Darcy Levens, right through traffic as people were pulling him to the ground. That's not what the Colts needed to start off this afternoon.
Levens with his 3rd touchdown reception of the year. The rookie Ryan Longwell to add the extra point, which he does. Mike Holmgren, concerns with his team's attitude, sees the pack march right through the dome. And it's Levens from far who scores first in Indianapolis. Dorsey Levens capping a quick 74-yard march by Green Bay, all through the air off the right arm of Favre, and Levens got 56 on one screen pass. The kickoff. Longwell booting deep. Aaron Bailey out to the 20-yard line, and he falls forward to the 23.
Why'd you take a look at the touchdown right here? Here's Favre, and here comes the blitz off the backside, and 40 McElroy gets a piece of Favre. Now, the backs come through there and get open, but watch Favre. 9 out of 10 quarterbacks right there fall apart. When they see the blitz come in their face and they have a body draping on them and feel their body get touched, 9 out of 10 of them fall apart. Favre doesn't.
Paul Justin trying not to fall apart. He has tape on his injured left hand. First play for him today. Cross sweep Favre. Cuts it back, a couple of tough yards. Stop made by Brian Williams, the right outside linebacker. After the pickup of 4, and the Indianapolis offense, as presented by the Orthopedic Surgeons of America, the way that all the quarterbacks have been injured. Paul Justin, by medical default, earns the nod today. You see the front line. It's been 5 years since right tackle Tony Mandrich stood in the same stadium with the green and gold Packer helmet. The left tackle Meadows, the right guard Glenn are both rookies. Falk now lined up as a wide receiver. And this is Zach Crockett, the fullback, who works it up close to the 30-yard line. Big Gilbert Brown fell on him. The Green Bay Packers with Reggie White in there defensively. Brown with the stop. Gabe Wilkins, of course, as well. The linebacking trio. Bernardo Harris in the middle, leading the Packers in tackles. And in the secondary, Eugene Robinson and Leroy Butler. 21 years of experience, 80 career interceptions. 4 wide receivers, 6 defensive backs for Green Bay on 3rd and 4. Harris came in motion. Looking his way, batted into the air, and it's incomplete and a flag.
Yeah, what happened was Doug Evans just hit Stabline early before the ball got there.
Our referee today, Ron Blum. Pass interference, Packers. Mike Holmgren concerned about penalties a week ago in what was a penalty-filled game.
Cool.
Pass interference. 33 defense. First down. Indianapolis.
That is Doug Evans. Watch Doug Evans here. Now, Stabline's going to come here and he's going to sit down. Now, as Evans backpedals, now watch, he breaks on the ball, and you see the contact as he comes over the top. And 9 out of 10 times, when you come over the top of the receiver and you hit him in the back coming through him, you're going to get that flag thrown on you, no matter where the ball is.
Aaron Bailey, Marvin Harrison, the 2 wide receivers. Justin, play action with time in the pocket. And the catch is out across midfield, down to the 43-yard line by Marvin Harrison, second-year pro.
One of the things for the Colts has been the protection. The offensive line has had problem giving the quarterbacks time. Now right here, there's a blitz on, and it gets picked up well. And Justin has time to see the field. Now that's the key. When this team and this offensive scheme, when the quarterback has time, the receivers can get open downfield, as Marvin Harrison did.
A week ago, Kelly Holcomb, then the starter, sacked 7 times by Cincinnati. Here's Zach Crockett lowering his head, and worked over pretty good by the Green Bay's front wall. So how do you play quarterback with one hand tied behind your back?
Well, that's what it's been, a hand problem for all the quarterbacks, and it's kind of been like a MASH unit. You know, everybody's in the infirmary, everybody's getting fixed up, and they just got to the point where they came down the line and said, well, you're the best out of all of them, so you get to play. You know, get back to service.
So his middle finger on his non-throwing hand.
But, you know, he still has to get under the center there, and he still has to get under there and be accountable for the snap.
Again, Marshall Falk, not in the backfield, sent out wide. That's got a smart. Stepping up, throwing, zipping it for Falk at the 36-yard line, right through his hand. Doesn't that sting when the ball comes snapped back by Jay Lowenberg?
Well, you would think so, especially the nature of that injury. I mean, that finger, look, he said, wow. He looked and said, wow, that one hurt. The finger actually was dislocated, the middle finger, at the joint where it hits the hand, and it went backwards and out. It just popped out. So that thing is just realistically just held together by tape.
Reading plays off the wristband on his left arm. As radioed in from head coach Lindy Infante. 4 wide receivers on 3rd down. Blitz. Throws, 1st down. Nice catch on his knees by Marvin Harrison, his 2nd of this drive. A man who caught a touchdown pass a week ago in that loss to the Bengals. Hauls it in.
Well, what it is again, watch. I want you to watch. Right here, Brian Williams comes, and it gets picked up. Now, that's a 5-man rush, and there's time back here. See that pocket? When he has time, Marvin Harrison and the other receivers have time to get off coverage, to get separation from the defenders. They haven't had that throughout the season.
So Harrison, who's now hauled in a pass in every game of his 27-game career. Zach Crockett falls inside the 30. You know, Indianapolis is answering that Packer opening blitzkrieg, aren't they? We have an injured Green Bay player down.
On a guy they can't afford to have injured. Gilbert Brown has been hurt earlier in the year with a knee injury, and he's down rolling around on the carpet, and that's a guy that's really been a force for him in the run game. When he is in on the defense, the run per yard goes down and average per game goes down.
Already with blood on his pants, but it's his knees they're working on.
Here's big Gilbert right here. We'll try to see if we can find out what happens to him. Oh yeah, that's his right knee. Doug Weidel, that was a scoop block to the near side as Jay Lowenberg tried to get a piece of him, go up on the backer, and then the backside guard tries to get across Gilbert and rolled up on his knee.
So Mike Holmgren and his defensive coordinator Fritz Schirmer will send onto the field Bob Kuberski to take big Gilbert Brown's position.
Well, that's some big shoes to fill. Just, you know, not just size-wise, but what he brings to that whole defense. Fritz Schirmer, you can see the concern on his face. He knows what Gilbert means to that run defense. Yeah, he got his knee rolled up. He's got a nice strain there.
Fritz Schirmer in his 22nd year. I mean, there's coordinator in the NFL.
There's some injuries you just know about when you played defensive line before in the NFL. You just know what they are, and you've had them, you've seen them, and you can feel the pain that Gilbert's got right now.
So off he goes, Kuberski on. Mike Holmgren's Packers blew down the field on their opening possession to take a 7-0 lead. And then this befalls him as Indianapolis responds.
Right here is where it gets rolled up. Well, this is backside. Watch the knee buckle inside. See it turn inside? And that's not an illegal chop block because the center wasn't engaged high and he went low. That's a legal block. It's just unfortunate his knee got caught in that position.
8th play of the drive. Pollard in motion. Now a lead blocker for Marshall Faulk. Loose ball on the field. And the Colts have fallen on it. They get it back. Adam Meadows, the rookie left tackle, number 73, is at the bottom of the pile.
Well, that was a heads-up play by Meadows. Meadows saw the ball pop out, and watch him come back. Now here's a lead block by Pollard, and then here's the ball pops out. Now watch Meadows. Watch Meadows. He jumps in there after. Meadows last week was a guy who tried to call timeout too. And obviously he's a headsy guy. He just forgot some of the rules. He was down in his stance last week, and he tried to call timeouts. He saw the play clock running down, but
as the medical staff attends to big Gilbert Brown. Lamont Warren checks in for the Colts. Over the middle, one-armed grab incomplete. One-arm attempt at the 25-yard line by Marvin Harrison. One-arm quarterback, one-arm receiver going up with one hand.
Well, that was just a high throw of Justin. Justin wished he had that over. Now, one of the things they can't afford to do is what's been hurting them is they march down the field, they being the Colts, You see it was just too high, and he had the open middle of the field there. They marched down the field, Paul, and then they come away with it with no points. And that's been a problem for them. You know, they need to answer that touchdown with another touchdown. And then, of course, the field goal has been a problem, too, with the missed field goals by Kerry Blanchard.
Kerry Blanchard from 42, who has been struggling as of late. This time he splits the uprights. Yeah. In the Pro Bowl a year ago, he's able to answer the Packers' opening onslaught. It is 7-3 in Indianapolis. Good news, bad news for Packer fans. Green Bay scores on its opening possession for the first time since September, but they may have lost the services today of Gilbert Brown, suffering from a twisted right ankle. Again, Roel Preston in his first game, debuting as a Packer, will field this at his 2. 20-yard line. Nice hops to the 30. Good return out close to the 35. And he held on to the football.
Showed a little flash there, and that's what Mike Holmgren was looking for. We talked to him yesterday. He says, that's the only area of the team that I'm really concerned about the return game. We just need a spark there.
Coming up next on our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader, how about this classic NFL rivalry? The Washington Redskins head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Don't miss this crucial NFC East matchup as the playoff race heats up. Coming up next, right here on Fox, except in Chicago and right here in Indianapolis.
That's going to be critical for Dallas.
Favre again throwing. That's caught. Antonio Freeman, who moves to flanker today for the injured Robert Brooks, snares his first pass of the afternoon.
Yeah, I want you to watch what they're doing here, and it makes sense, too. They've had problems at the right corner position right here. That's number 40, Ray McElroy. He's been a strong safety. Now they've had Watts there. They've tried Monty Montgomery. They've tried Dedrick Mathis. I mean, it's been a revolving door there trying to find cure for the problem at right corner. And Green Bay says, hey, everyone else has gone at him. We are too.
Gain of 13. On first down, Levens with a block by Henderson. What a block, and down the sideline he flies. The Packers have scored again. 52 yards. It's the old Green Bay sweep.
Yeah. I think Levens could return to the locker room and say he had a pretty productive day already. The thing that sprung that was William Henderson. The Colts did a good job. They strung it all the way out to the sidelines, and the last block by Henderson on Robert Blackman, the strong safety, is what sprung it wide open.
Is that a 56-yard reception, scored on a 3-yard toss, now a 52-yard scoring gallop, and suddenly it's 14-3.
I'll tell you what, the Colts have given up more big plays than probably anybody else in the league.
Have a flag on this placement. Ron Blum.
Offside, 55 defense. The try for point is good. The penalty will be assessed on the kick, 5 yards.
Levens has found the end zone twice for the Packers, who in that possession run all of 2 plays. The old Green Bay sweep, and Henderson with the big block. Levens does the rest.
Watch these 2 blocks here on this touch and run. First of all, right here by William Henderson. And watch here. Number 40, McElroy, gives off so much room because of the pass that he just gave up. He doesn't even realize it's run, and then he gets blocked by Antonio Freeman downfield. And what have they been on the field defensively? 6 plays and given up 2 touchdowns?
Exactly. And they will now surrender the ball on the kickoff, a booming kickoff to the Colts. We'll bring it up to the 20-yard line. That's only the 4th rushing touchdown this year, Bill, for the Green Bay Packers. Reggie White comes on.
And for the Colts defense especially, I mean, it's getting late early. Hey, maybe 6 plays, you're out there and you give up 2 touchdowns.
Dorsey Levens galloping to the longest touchdown run of his career against what has to be a shell-shock Colts team. Telling us yesterday they've held their heads up at their training camp, everybody with a positive attitude, but the bottom line is they are 0-10, and there's a reason why. On first down, Marshall Faulk around the right side, back to the 30, running room, and off he goes. holding on to the football at the Green Bay 35-yard line. A gain of 45, but we have an injured Adam Meadows back upfield for the Colts.
Boy, one of the things the Colts are doing this game that they haven't done is they're attacking the perimeter. And they haven't done that. They're usually an inside running team, but so far today, 2 or 3 times we've seen them get the ball outside. Now there's nice blocking downfield, missed tackle by Eugene Robinson, and then some nifty moves by Marshall Faulk, which of course you expect. And again, you know, one of the key things is over the past 3 or 4 weeks when this defense of the Packers has been coming up to speed is that they haven't given up big runs. They've limited the 20-plus runs, and now you have Gilbert Brown is out, and bang, they bust one.
That was for Faulk. We just saw Dorsey Levin's longest run of his career. This is the longest of the season for a former Pro Bowler. Marshall Faulk, a gain of 45. And here Adam Meadows will have to leave the game, the rookie out of Georgia. And on to replace him, number 71 in the black visor, Kip Vickers from Miami. He's holding a wrist. The Colts have had enough wrist injuries.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you've followed this team through everything, I mean, it's been, like I said, it's been a mashing. It's been a war zone. We've seen trauma, casualties, misery, and a disappointing 0-10 record to go with it.
And Meadows is headed straight for the dressing room. Lamont Warren atop your picture on first down. Justin to throw if he can get it away, and he's sacked for the first time. Instead by Santana Dotson and Gabe Wilkins.
Yeah, Gabe Wilkins. Gabe Wilkins is lined up right over Kip Vickers. And Kip Vickers is sitting on the bench, and he hasn't played much. Meadows has played all season long. Now here's Vickers right here. This is Dilger, this is Vickers, and here's Gabe Wilkins. He plants outside, and he just gets pushed back right away. He gives up much too much ground, and that's, you know, the guy's been sitting on the bench. I mean, he hasn't been playing.
That is the 25th sack this season for invading Green Bay, the 44th allowed by that Colt front line. Again to the air for Justin. Over the middle. A catch at the 30-yard line by Ken Dilger.
You know, that's a guy they haven't been using as much of this year.
The tight end.
Yeah, and of course he missed 2 games. He had an injury and he missed some time, but they've been keeping him in a lot. I mean, this is a guy that gets about 45 catches a year. He's a Pro Bowl level tight end, and this year they've had to keep him in a lot to help out on the pass protection. Now, that's bad when you've got to take away some of your good weapons like Dilger to keep him in to help pass protect.
Now third down. Third and about 5 against Fritz's defense. Darren Sharper, Mike Pryor, extra defensive backs on the field for Green Bay. Out of the gun. Justin with heat on. It's caught for a first down by Lamont Warren. Against Brian Williams, the linebacker. He made it by about a yard. His first grab of the afternoon.
Oh, there was pretty good coverage downfield, and that was Brian Williams. Now, Brian Williams is a linebacker, and he got matched up outside with Lamont Warren. And anytime you have a back on a backer, that's you want to find it. But Williams has pretty good coverage right there. I mean, he's in there tight. It was just a well-thrown ball and a good catch.
The 4th completion of the first quarter for Justin. Tried to get the Packers to jump. No flags down. Marshall Faulk cuts it back down to the 22-yard line. Right now for McDonald's Game Break. Let's return to Hollywood. Here's James Brown.
Paul and Bill, the Vikings have scored first in every game they played this year. Not today, thanks in part to this 41-yard run by Tommy Vardell. That set up a 27-yard field goal by Jason Hanson. Lions up by a field goal. Back to Paul and Bill.
Oh, the Packer fans would love that, wouldn't they? A race for first place in the NFC Central. We will update you throughout the afternoon from Hollywood on that game. 14-3 here. Green Bay. Justin on second down. To the sideline, a short game. Inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. Sean Dawkins gets his gloved hands on the football for the first time today.
You know, a nice little battle going on out there, Paul, is right over here. Tony Mandrich and Reggie White. Now, Manders, remember, he was the Superman that came out of college, and Packers, Lindy Infante, when he was head coach, picked him up. And that's a good job right there. And Manders was embarrassed. He was out of the league for about 3.5 years. He was embarrassed when they had to play Green Bay at Philly. Reggie White just abused him. Now, he's seeing Reggie on the downside of his career, but the fact that this guy has battled back shows you that there's something inside him, because what he went through up there in Green Bay was just terrible.
Justin throws again. Caught by Harrison. Harrison gets a block. Out of bounds. No touchdown. Just inside the pylon. Away from Leroy Butler. We're in a shootout.
Yeah.
The OK Corral.
You're exactly right. I was just going to say, thus far, neither defense has stopped the other team. It's early yet, but neither defense has showed a sign that they can stop the other team.
Justin throwing what is his 4th touchdown pass of the season. And now Indianapolis will go for 2. They've converted once this year for a 2-point conversion. What are they doing here? To pull them within a field goal. Very unconventional. Being aggressive. Justin throws underneath, and it is picked off.
You can't return it.
And the whistle's blown. Bernardo Harris with the interception. Harris with the pick. Justin must settle for 6 on the receiving end. Marvin Harrison. So he gallops away from Leroy Butler. The first TD of the day for the team in blue.
Brought to you by Mazda. Come see what happens when a car company has more engineers and fewer accountants. Mazda.
Blue cheese right now, the diet in the dome. Paul Justin connecting with Marvin Harrison for the Colts. First score of the day. Roel Preston, his 3rd return of the first quarter. Again aggressively up to the 25-yard line as Justin is 4 for 4 on that drive and polishes it off. A nice move too by Harrison.
Watch what they do here. They have Marvin Harrison here in the slot matched up with Butler. That could be a mismatch right there in itself, but then they bring him in motion to get him off the line of scrimmage. See the separation he has here? Now watch the catch, and it turns upfield. Butler misses it. Then watch the effort to get this thing into the end zone. He looks like he steps out right there, but watch this angle here. Watch what he does with the ball as he crosses the plane. Feet in bounds, ball comes inside the pylon, and a great call by the back judge.
The veteran Al Jury made that call. How does Green Bay respond? Far through the air once again. Hauled in the 30-yard line by Derek Mays, the hometown hero, the Notre Dame grad who grew up in this city. His first reception. We've had 1 run today. As you see the Mays clan turning out today. More than 40 tickets that Derek has purchased as he returns home.
I'll tell you what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing a lot of missed tackles on defense. Both defenses, I see guys laying on the ground and with receivers and running backs with the balls in their hand.
11 shifts now in motion. Favre looks his way, instead throws to Chamorro. And the tight end up to the 43-yard line. Steve Morrison is the linebacker who is credited on the tackle. It's a gain of 6.
Hey, you hear the fans, the Green Bay fans, they're not booing. They're saying Chewy. Chewy. That's Chamorro.
How about if you're a Colt here? Does that insult you that
I would be.
There's a huge crowd pulling for the other team?
I can remember in Kansas City we used to have the Raiders when they came to play. All the Raiders fans would come out and they'd be cheering for them and have Raider banners up in our stadium. Yeah, that'll get you upset.
Second down. Favre Levens with the hole, and he was tripped up coming through by Bernard Weddington. Weddington, number 95, starting today for the injured Ellis Johnson, just did get a hand on his shoe tops to trip him up.
You know, a lot of people criticize the Packers for not having a running game. Watch William Henderson here on this block. This is a counter trap block, and Henderson on Quentin Coriat just moves him right out of the hole. And you know, you talk about a running game, and I think anytime you have a back that runs hard and makes people miss, you have a good running game. And that's what you have in Levens.
On first down. Favre airs it out down the sideline into double coverage. And it's incomplete.
Boy, what a nice job by Jason Belzer. You talk about your free safety, moving and getting distance around the field, covering a lot of ground. Carlton Gray lying on the turf right here after this hit, but watch right here. That's how you break up a play. Now, the one thing I did see there is I saw that crown of the helmet. A lot of times the officials are very, very skeptical in watching what goes on out there as far as defensive backs hitting with the top of the helmet.
Mays, the all-time leading receiver in terms of yards and touchdowns in the storied history of Notre Dame. There's one yesterday down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Carlton Gray is on the field. That is the best cover defender in the secondary that Indianapolis can put onto the field.
Well, you know, now that's a guy on their defense they can afford to lose. You have your best cover guy out there, your man-to-man cover guy. They always play him up close on the receiver. You have him out there on the field, and then you lose him against the Green Bay Packers receivers.
Erlindy Infante, his problems mount, and Dedrick Mathis will have to come on to replace him. Off goes Gray.
Well, at least for one play. But Gray looks like he's shaking this off. It doesn't look like it's serious injury. Hopefully he'll be back.
Just the second incompletion is Mathis. Buckles his chin strap that Favre has suffered. He had hit 6 in a row before it was batted away by Gray and Belzer. And now Monty Montgomery is out there too. 4 wideouts, 5 defensive backs. Levens hit the backfield.
Boy, that was a nice play.
Dan Footman got him first, and then Al Fontenot.
Dan Footman just got upfield real quick. They tried to bounce the ball outside on him, and Footman was there to blow the whole thing up.
Green Bay leading 14-9, but Lindy's troops hanging in there in his hometown. Don Beebe on the field, a 4-receiver set. Mark Chimura 2. When you lose Brooks, look how many receptions goes off the board there. Big fall off.
But they really like Mays. This is time. Mike Holmgren said, Mays, this is his time.
On 3rd and long, here comes the blitz. Favre loses the ball. It's a loose ball. Scooped up. Al Fontenot for the end zone. Favre chasing. The Colts lead.
That's what Mike's concerned about. A desperate team in a desperate state.
A 40-yard fumble return for a touchdown. And the winless Indianapolis Colts lead the defending Super Bowl champions.
Well, they've done it before. They beat San Fran in '96. They beat the Cowboys last year.
And for Fontenot, his very first career touchdown. Think he'll want that football?
Oh, heck, he's got it stashed away now.
I sacked Brett Favre, scooped it up, ran the distance. And again, the Colts will go for 2. Leading 15-14 over the Packers. And Justin will call timeout. Confusion on the field. He'll come to the sideline. Again, another look. Favre stripped from the blind side.
Watch this blitz coming from the backside here. Sammy Barrows coming off the backside. And Monty Montgomery. Sammy Barrows actually absorbed all the blocks inside. They were outmanned over on that side. That's what a lot of teams are doing, blitzing. Watch them being outmanned over here. There's more rushers than they have blockers, and he comes scot-free. Nice job of stripping the ball, loses his shoe in the process as well. But nice job of, that's where you have to get the quarterbacks when you hit them in the backside. You want to strip that throwing arm.
Delmonico Montgomery with the strip. Fontenot with the touchdown. 10 seconds into the second quarter, the 0-10 Colts lead on the scoreboard. Now they will get that adrenaline going, won't they? They'll be all fired up here. 4-2. Justin looks into the end zone. Dumps it, caught, diving grab, the two-point conversion, good.
Stabline.
Ryan Stabline.
What a catch.
Just across the goal line. 17-14. So if you're Mike Holmgren, is this your worst nightmare becoming reality? The two-point conversion good. The Favre strip and touchdown, putting the Colts on top.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Saturn, a different kind of company, a different kind of car. By American Express, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, American Express helps you do more. By Duracell, when it better work, better make it Duracell. And by Motorola, with a Motorola pager you know now. Motorola.
Chris Gardocki kicks the Royal Preston out to the 22-yard line, and the Packers have to be a bit shocked with the way this first half is going, although they are the decided favorite this afternoon.
Confused, looks like those expressions. Disgust right there. Look, oh, jeez. And he feared it. He feared this all week. And I think he feared it last week as well, playing the Rams. And they played sloppy last week. They came out flat. Now, they started this game sharp offensively, but their defense didn't match up. Now they've got themselves in a dogfight.
Center Frank Winters over the football. Motion prior to the snap. And flags fly from all over the football field.
Well, Earl Dotson moved a little bit early there before the snap. Number 72, the right offensive tackle.
Prior to the snap, full start, 72 offense, 5 yards, repeat first down.
There's Dotson. He suffered a concussion last week, Bill, against the Rams.
I want you to watch right here. Now, there's a little flinch right over here by Carl Powell. But Dotson got the penalty called on him.
First against the Green Bay offense. Levens in the slot atop your picture. Henderson out in the pattern. Throwing for him to the 23-yard line. Back close to the original line of scrimmage. Steve Morrison, the linebacker, hit him first.
Then Elijah Alexander stepped up, and a whole host of Colts tacklers. They're flying to the ball now. You see how many Colts blue jerseys were around that football? I mean, that's what they need. I mean, they needed life. I mean, I think they started this game out flat thinking, well, you know, another loss. But they've got life now. Paul Jestin and the offense is giving them life. Also, Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator, he's giving them life. He called that blitz on that play in their territory. He usually doesn't blitz in opponent's territory.
On 2nd and 9, they run the counter. Coming through Levens, spinning, maybe a yard.
Again, look at the blue jerseys. These guys are fired up. Blackman closing in there. Nice fill coming out of the strong safety position.
Quentin Coriat, all the Colts.
They try to get this ball outside again with the trap play right there, but watch it get stuffed up right here. Number 25 comes up, Blackman, the strong safety. They got out of Seattle. That was an area that they really needed to get defensive backs this offseason. He was a free agent they picked up. They went out and got Carlton Gray, also from Seattle. You know, they lost Eugene Daniels and Ray Buchanan. So they had to fill the spots at the defensive back position.
3rd and 8. Coriat shows blitz. He is not coming. Favre throws the long ball down the sideline for Beebe, who's out of bounds. Ray McElroy in coverage. And Green Bay will have to punt. Their best defensive series of the afternoon.
Well, watch it. They're going after again. McElroy, number 40, down the sideline, but he gets out of bounds. This ball's thrown a little bit out of bounds. Watch Beebe's feet right here. He's already out.
Greg Hendrick will be kicking to the man who caught the 2-point conversion. Ryan Stabline. The first punt today for the Pack. Nice punt. It turns over at the 10-yard line. Stabline. Nowhere to go. Yeah. A lot of white jerseys on special teams. Jeff Thomason.
Nice punt and good coverage.
Yeah, 63 yards through the thin air of the dome. The Colts with the lead and the football when we return. Special teams, bigger plays, that is.
Travis Jervey, number 32. He's a flyer. Now watch him beat the two guys outside. That's McElroy again. Now watch this. As soon as he gets past those guys, look at him turn on the Jets, and he's a fast guy. He competed in the NFL fastest man competition. Fastest guy on the Packers. That's nice coverage.
First down for Paul Justin. He's going to try the deep ball. Looking for Dawkins, who makes the catch across midfield.
What a catch.
Whoa.
What a catch by Dawkins.
Sean hauls it in, a gain of 43 yards.
You know, they started Aaron Bailey, but you see the nice release off the line of scrimmage, beating Tyrone Williams. Now what he sees here is a safety coming over, Eugene Robinson. Paul Justin actually puts a lot of air underneath that ball and gives Robinson time to get there and Williams time to close. And Dawkins sees this, and he knows he's going to get hit. Nice concentration in making the catch.
The Colts have scored on both of their first half possessions today. This their third. Falk hemmed in, manages to get a couple of yards. Let's check in on that Minnesota football game in Detroit. Our McDonald's update. Here's James Brown.
Hey, Paul, it looked like Detroit is self-destructed right here near the goal line. Scott Mitchell, all the time in the world, throws a pick. You see the flag in the middle, so the Lions get a shot at it again. Keep the ball on the ground. Tommy Vardell makes them pay. 10-0 Lions over the 8-2 Vikings. Back to Paul and Bill.
All right, JB, a similar storyline here, too. The underdog leading the early going. On second down, how about Zach Crockett pushing the pile down to the 35-yard line.
Now watch where they're running the ball. Remember, if you joined us late now, you didn't see it. Gilbert Brown is out. Big, hefty defensive tackle in there that clogs everything up. Look, he's out. I mean, that guy, he brings a new meaning to two-gap. Now watch where they want to attack the ball. They come right up the middle where Gilbert was. That's Bob Kaburski in there, and they're going to pound Zach Crockett at him.
Brian Stabline now on the field for the Colts. Dawkins comes this way, and you see the covey of receivers atop your picture. Third down. Justin from the shotgun. Pulls it down, fires over the middle. Caught again by Harrison for a first down. Marvin Harrison, a touchdown reception already in this football game, is enjoying a big first half. He gains 9 more.
Well, I'll tell you what I like I'm seeing. I'm liking the play of Paul Justin. This is a gutsy effort. He's a fiery type of guy. And I also like the play calling that they're getting this guy involved, Marvin Harrison. He is a threat anytime he is on the field. Last year, you know, he was a rookie from Syracuse. He came in. He was offensive player of the week. He was a special teams player of the week. There goes Gilbert Brown. They're carrying him off. That's a bad sign that he's not going to be back.
And the eye on first down. Second man through is Falk. Rips him pretty good.
How about the first man through? How about the first man through, Paul? Zach Crockett. That's a big block.
Again, hitting where the big man there, and Gilbert Brown is not. Brian Williams, Seth Joyner, the linebackers on that tackle.
As I looked at this Colts offense coming into this game, I thought some of the things that were their problem was they weren't using Falk enough at the running back position. Watch the block by Crockett right here on the back of Brian Williams. Boom. He blows that thing up, and that's enough seam there for Falk to pick up 4 or 5 yards.
Now, when they can get the running game going, Bill, that opens up the pass, and Justin is connected on his last 6 throws. And he's going to throw again. Off his back foot, and it's through the hands of the intended target, Falk.
A little high. A little high. But I like what Paul Justin has done so far, thus far. And here's a guy, you know, injured, dislocated finger, and, you know, a lot of quarterbacks would be out forever, but he's back in here. He's a fiery, gutsy type. The players like him in the huddle. Watch Harrison right here. Stop. And inside, there's nobody there. And Harrison's like, where's the ball? But it's tough to see. It's tough to see. He was looking at one side of the field, and that's the other side of the field, and he's got to go through his reads. And when he saw Harrison the first time, he probably didn't think it was a good idea, but that's a tough job of being a quarterback, is seeing that whole field.
On third down, on the draw, good play by Green Bay up front.
Jermaine Smith. Watch Jermaine close this on the backside. Jermaine usually comes in on pass rushing situations, which this was 3rd and long. Now watch him close down from the backside. right here, comes down the line of scrimmage, steps around the blocker and comes down the line of scrimmage.
That'll set up a 4th down field goal try once again from 42 yards out for Kerry Blanchard. The first points today by the Colts from this distance. Again with the distance. And it's no good. He hooked it left. He continues to struggle. This is a man who a year ago, along with his putter Chris Gardocki, played in the Pro Bowl. Green Bay facing a former head coach, Lindy Infante, the coach of the year back in 1989 when the Magic Man was the quarterback. Sterling Sharp on the receiving end. And here now with the lead over his former team in this. As you see, his 4 years in Green Bay. It's the 1997 winless campaign. A long year for him, his second.
Very consistent in his offensive game plan. Unfortunately, consistent in his record.
Picked off. Intercepted by Robert Blackman, who laterals the football to Jason Belzer. Belzer down the sidelines.
Belzer's gone.
Again, they score. It's a touchdown. And a nightmare for Holmgren.
That's the Hornets' nest. That's what he was scared of walking into.
First, a Brett Favre fumble that is returned by Fontenot, 40 yards for a defensive score. And now, an interception and a lateral, and Belzer has the second defensive TD of the first half for Indianapolis. $50 yards off that lateral. The extra point try by Kerry Blanchard, who missed the field goal moments ago, which has long been forgotten. This is 24-14, disbelieving the team from Green Bay, Wisconsin. The ball thrown high, intercepted by Robert Blackman. Blackman's first interception of the year, just the 7th this year for the Colts.
There's plenty of time here in the pocket. Brett just throws that ball high. He throws it right over top of Antonio Freeman, and there Blackman is. And a good heads-up play by Blackman, going down, flipping the ball to Belzer. Watch it. He said, I'm going down, take it, score. We got nothing to lose. You can gamble. You can do desperate things when you're 0-10. You can be falling on your back with an interception in opponent's territory and say, here, take it, go score.
Are they looking ahead to the Cowboys?
Indy. They're in a rumble right now with Indy.
Jason Belzer seems to personify the professionalism and class of some of the players in this organization out of Oklahoma. Does not have his head down. He didn't yesterday when we visited with him.
Yeah, and what he said is he's never been through a season like this in his life. He's never been, he didn't know how to handle it. He could see the discouragement in him, too, talking to him. I mean, it bothered him. And competitors like that, like a Jason Belzer type, who is, by the way, a heck of a free safety, it hurts his pride.
Well, if you are scoring at home, that is Favre to Blackman to Belzer for the touchdown for the Colts. Roel Preston elects to bring it out of the end zone. Sidelines 30. A flag thrown in as he crosses the 40-yard line. Chris Gardocki, the kicker, bumped him out of bounds. A return of 42 yards.
Normally when you get those calls down there, it's the hold, and there it is. Everything's gone wrong for the Packers. You know, and what's going to be interesting now is the Packers over the last few weeks.
Holding number 32 on the receivers. 10 yards, first down.
Travis Jervey. The Packers over the last few weeks have actually struggled offensively. They've won. They've done some things well. But now it's going to be interesting. On the road, down by 10. There's Jervey. You see the hand? That's a nice form tackle. You know, down by 10. Now it's going to be interesting to see what Green Bay does. Now, you know, they've got to change their game plan, or they stick with the things they do.
How do they come out? They give it to Levens.
And why not? Levens has been their big play guy in this game.
Mark Chmura, the tight end, with a nice block for him.
Pancake. He just buried the guy. And, you know, why not? Levens has been the guy that's gotten stuff done for you. There's Williams. What's there? There's Chmura. There's Henderson. And there's the yardage. Levens is just, when he does get the ball in his hands, he's making things happen in this game.
Run it out of there on 2nd and 1. That's a first down. And some solid hits at the 30-yard line on number 30, William Henderson.
See, now it's tough time to get physical. You're down by 10, and now you're going to say, okay, now we're going to start the game over. Now we're going to get physical at the line of scrimmage. Now we're going to try to take over the game. That's very tough to do. And most of the times, you can't do it. You can't all of a sudden say, okay, we're in a fight now, and now we're going to show you what we're made of. You have to do that from the start, or else it usually doesn't get done.
First down. Bernard Whittington is out of the game defensively up front. Steve Martin takes his place, number 90.
Audible at the line. And you got a false start again on Earl Dotson. Favre audible at the line of scrimmage, and Dotson moved a little bit early. Now, two things. One, when you hear the audible, sometimes you forget the snap count. And two, you're in a dome. The crowd noise, it's tough for the tackles to hear the cadence.
Prior to the snap, false start, 72 offense, 5 yards, repeat first down.
Once again on Earl Dotson.
You're going to see now, here's the audible, and you see that little flinch right there. And Mike Holmgren alluded to that, too. You know, you talk about the Packers on turf, and their record is terrible on turf.
Both losses this year on an artificial surface.
And I talked to Mike a little bit about it. He said, well, a lot of it, the turf, is we're playing in domes. Detroit, Minnesota, and the crowd noise plays a factor in it.
They did win a Super Bowl, though, in a dome. Levens up to the 30. But when you've led a team playing at home, and in this case the Colts, get up on top of you, the crowd gets behind them, and it will get even more loud as this game goes on, and Brett Favre has to face that. He took the Packers in the first quarter down the field, just blitzkrieg fashion. They flew down the field, scored in 4 snaps, and then in a couple of snaps looked to be dominating this game, but 2 defensive scores.
Well, actually,
Indianapolis,
you know, Indianapolis defense actually let them do whatever they wanted to in the first. Now they're playing, and now Green Bay isn't playing, and Mark Chmura gets the false start.
This may be against the Packers again.
Yeah, it's going to be on Chmura, another false start. He's the wide guy there, too. And in the dome,
snap,
you can't hear.
89 offense, 5 yards, repeat second down.
Yeah, this looks like what happened to the Rams last week. It's happening now to the Packers on the road.
You're going to see that flinch coming. Well, you see the flinch over there as well. That's by Fontenot. Fontenot raises his arm, and the crowd noise gets going. Remember that old flinch move Neil Smith used to use? Draw guys off. Now, that's you can't taunt them. You're not supposed to be able to try to distract the offensive lineman, get a jump on them. I mean, that's supposed to be illegal.
But he threw his left hand up in his face, and Chmura moved. Chmura and Jeff Thomason now, 2 tight ends. And it's 2nd down, 17 yards to go for Brett Favre, who's frustrated, and he trails as another flag flies by 10 at 24-14.
Please reset the play clock to 10 seconds. 10 seconds and start it on my signal.
Well, then the Packers will have to get up to the line of scrimmage and perhaps go on a quick count.
The field judge picked up that flag because the play clock ran down. And they reset it.
Favre on the roll. Unloads it. Deep down the sideline, and it is caught. It's Mays, the hometown hero, with a stiff arm, and he can't get in. Down to the 1. It'll be blown down at the 1-yard line. Jason Belzer took him down.
And look at Brett Favre. He's yelling at his offensive lineman, get down here, get down the field.
The longest pass by Green Bay this season, this of 74 yards.
This is when Brett Favre can take control of a team. He's done it the whole time he's been in Green Bay. That was a nice route and a nice run by Derek Mays, but who got the ball down there? That was a beautiful throw by Brett Favre.
And he separates from him too.
Gray turns it over to the safety, Belzer. Belzer runs with him, but look at that throw. Yep. That is an unbelievable throw.
Stretched it out at the 1, and now the Colts will call timeout with 4.5 minutes remaining in this wild first half. We are in the Dome in Indianapolis. Eric Mays, the Notre Dame grad who played his high school ball here in Indy, backed by his family. Green Bay trailing by 10 late in the first half. Just connected on its longest pass play of the season, 1st and goal. And now that Colt defense, which has produced 2 touchdowns today, has to dig in. Quentin Coryatt and company. 3 tight ends for the Packers. Levens, touchdown Green Bay.
Big block, Mark Chimera.
And the Packer backers here celebrate. First score of the second quarter by the Pack. The 3rd touchdown, 2 for Levens. All coming in the first half. He's collecting some game balls, isn't it? Receiving, a couple rushing, at a 52-yard run, and now the very short plunge. Ryan Longwell, the rookie out of California, had the extra point. It was a bad snap, a good hold though by Henry to get it down.
Watch here. Watch Verba on this block just bury his guy. He just buries Footman, and Chamara has a nice block outside on Carl Powell. The Verba, the young rookie tackle who was late getting into camp, and that's what they want to see out of him. He just buries Footman. And he's a nasty guy. He's a nasty, mean offensive lineman. You know, most of your mean, nasty guys are on defense. He plays the offensive line with that kind of nastiness.
Sherman Lewis, the offensive coordinator, along with Holmgren, saying their offensive line just now getting together. They played collectively together for the first time in the win over the Rams last week.
And Mike had a talk with the guys. He said, you guys, it was about this time last year that you took over the team for us. The offensive line. You took us down the stretch the last 6 games and into the playoffs and the Super Bowl, and you won games for us. Your ability to block, your ability to pass block and smash mouth people. And that's what he wanted to get out of them again. They're all together, they're healthy, and he wants them to start taking over games.
Levens, who has played so admirably in the absence of Edgar Bennett. He's going to be a 1,000-yard rusher, it appears, this year, just the 6th in Packer history, and we've seen his receiving skills too. Bailey off his goal line. Stumbles forward across the 20, out to the 21-yard line. Tonight, why is this dog in a tailspin? Along with Bill Moss, I'm Paul Kennedy. Our Fox cameras today inside the Dome in Indianapolis. It's been a surprise.
You ever feel like you've been chasing your tail before, Paul?
There are the Packers offsides. Free play. Flags down. Marshall Faulk worked over up to the 26-27-yard line.
Reggie White.
Ron Blum in his 13th season in the National Football League. Our referee. What are your options here? It's either 5 on the run.
Offside, 92 defense, 5 yards, repeat first down.
There you go.
1st and 5. And unless you get a first down, unless you get about 9 yards, it's always good to keep that extra down.
His 6th penalty on White's Packers. Fritz Schirmer says he's not at the peak of his career, obviously, but he still has spurts where he can dominate.
Well, you always have to account for it because he can take over games. Don't make the mistake of thinking he can't.
Faulk runs right at him, darts outside, and earns a first down. Doug Evans, the corner, came up to make the tackle. Tarek Glenn, the rookie right guard, number 78, with a good block up front, too.
That's the other rookie guard up front. I mean, now Meadows was the tackle, but Glenn was the number 1 this year. And it's tough this time of year for a rookie. He went all through training camp, he comes in. And this time last year, he was finishing up his college season, and he was going to have some time off before a bowl game and the scouting combines. But now he's got 6 games to go, and that would be, this is game, right now, he's at game 14, including the preseason games. And he started along the way the whole time.
Justin to throw on first down. Down the middle. Caught by Dilger. Another first down.
Paul, let me take you back to those last 2 plays. And this is what Indianapolis has been missing in their offense. Marshall Faulk running the ball and bouncing it outside. And secondly, Dilger. They haven't used him. This is the second time they've got him the ball in this game. And he's effective down the middle. Look what he does here to the middle of a defense. You get him in the middle, you get Faulk going, and you've got those 3 receivers outside with Bailey, Dawkins, and Harrison. That's some skilled people at the offensive positions.
Dilger in his 40th consecutive start. Here's Zach Crockett. There was a hole for him. That's close to 6. And a late flag thrown in.
And that's up there at the line of scrimmage. That was thrown downfield. That was thrown by the back judge.
It's about a 20-yard toss.
Yeah, normally he doesn't call the holding. Well, I want you to watch right here I want you to watch this block right here, Leuenberg, where Gilbert Brown was. See this block right here? See where he gets sealed off? That's where the hole is. That's where Gilbert Brown usually is.
The center Leuenberg is still on the field. Now he gets back to his feet and trying to walk it off. No starter.
This is where Gilbert Brown would be. That's Leuenberg, and this is the block. Now, the guard gets in there, too. Now, watch the hole that would be right here.
Offense, 15 yards.
That's where Gilbert would be, and look at the size of the hole.
The penalty on the Colts. Leuenberg will check out. Eugene Chung, who spent training camp with Green Bay. He's been around, the former New England Patriots #1 pick. He's going to have to come in now and play center.
10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
It's an illegal block in the back is the call against Indianapolis.
Well, that would have to be on one of the receivers coming into the linebackers. That would be the only way you could have an illegal block in the back.
Say Harrison coming down.
Harrison or Dawkins, whoever was outside there, coming down into the line of scrimmage and getting usually a lineman or a linebacker.
So Lindy Infante takes Eugene Chung, who was drafted as a tackle and has played guard, and is now forced to move him over the football. New center for this quarterback who's playing with a bad hand.
They hadn't had a chance to have any snaps together either on the sidelines. You don't get that time to warm up like a relief pitcher coming in.
Close to the 2-minute warning. And they get the snap away. They do. Justin with pressure, throws. That's caught Bailey. Now Bailey has the sideline. And a first down. Tyrone Williams chips him out of bounds.
Well, they had pressure, but they had time. Look at the pocket. Paul Justin has time in the pocket. This is a lot of time. Look, you can sit back there, he's looking, he's looking, hits it over the middle. Now, I want you to watch this. Look at Tarek Glenn downfield blocking, Dilger downfield blocking. And these guys are excited about what they're doing out here today. They're playing with some extra energy.
2-minute warning, Bill. Time now for our Aflac trivia question. When was the last time the Packers faced a former head coach? The answer when we return. Our Aflac trivia question. When was the last time the Packers faced a former head coach? You know they're going up against Lindy today. How about their founder, Curly Lambeau, who had moved on to the Washington Redskins after 3 decades in the green and gold? 45 seasons ago. Off the 2-minute warning with the lead headed toward halftime. Justin and Love Dilger again. They have freed up Ken Dilger. Aren't using him to block today, are they?
This play's coming back. They're going to call holding up front. When the blitz was on with Leroy Butler, Lamont Warren picks him up. Watch him stone Leroy. Boom! But then the flag comes in, and if that's called on Lamont Warren.
Hands to the face. Number 21 offense. 10 yards. Repeat first down.
It is Lamont Warren.
Illegal hands to the face. It wasn't a hold call.
Who's asking, what? Did I do this?
Watch him stone Leroy Butler. Oh, yeah, the hand. The hand was up there. Now watch, moments ago, before when they had their illegal block on Butler, right there, that's blocking in the back, and that was Warren as well. So Warren and Leroy Butler having quite a battle out there.
A couple on Warren, penalties in this possession. Justin hit his arm, not in motion. That is a fumble, and the Packers have the football.
Santana Dotson
at the 31, and Gabe Wilkins is on it.
Now Paul Jessen's arguing with the referee, saying, hey, I was throwing the ball forward. He's talking with him right now. We'll take a look. Dotson beats Glenn. And watch him close. And his arm was coming forward, but that thing was cocked in the back position. That's a judgment call by the official. As you hear booing from the fans now as they see the replay as well. His hand starts coming forward, but right when it gets his arm's moving forward, the ball stops out. Yeah. But that's a judgment call by the officials. I mean, the official has to call it as he sees it. And what really makes the difference is where the ball drops. See, it drops straight down there. Although his arm was coming forward, what the referee saw was the ball dropping straight down.
First Colt turnover. How does Favre take advantage of it? He throws the slant route inside the 20, down to the 26 to free Antonio Freeman. It's a gain of 13.
And this is where the Colts need to step up. You know, because every time something bad happens to them all year long, they're so accustomed to bad things happening and saying, oh no, here we go again. This is where their defense has to stand up and make a statement. And this group has been under pressure all year long to get something done. Now's the time to get it done.
Favre with 200 yards passing in the first half. Levens with 3 touchdowns is stretched out. Good defensive play that time. McElroy on the corner led the surge. Tested early and now playing better here in the second quarter. Late. Coming up on the Dockers Khakis halftime report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Ronnie will bring you all the scores and highlights from around the NFL, and don't miss our Fox Sports ticker with up-to-the-minute stats. All that and much more on the Dockers Khaki halftime report. It's been a wild first half here, Bill Moss. 45 points.
The Packers' most points they've given up this year in the half.
Their most in a game in 6 weeks. Favre for the end zone. Touchdown, Antonio Freeman.
Getting behind McElroy.
2 plays following the Justin fumble. The Packers go back out on top.
That's who they got behind McElroy. That's the problem area they've had all year, has been at right corner.
Favre with his second touchdown pass of the first half. Longwell on to attempt the extra point to make it a 28-24 game. And that's our score.
I see Brett Favre.
Favre here looking for Freeman, playing in place of Robert Brooks. He runs the slant, and the Pack has 6. Antonio Freeman running it to the post.
What he does here, takes it to McElroy, then breaks to the post. And watch the ball, comes right over Blackman. Well thrown by Favre. Then there's the catch. Then just has one. Well, actually, no. That was the second step down.
So Antonio Freeman is to shift positions today, but they say he's been getting a lot of practice time for Brooks in the last few weeks.
Well, he switched over to the flanker position, the Z, which he played last year when Brooks was out. That position just has a little bit more motion involved in it. He plays that position well.
Aaron Bailey, again from his own goal line, scoots out to the 10. Darts up to the 20-yard line and works his way to the 22. And the feet of Freeman in the back of the end zone to get 2 down. Nice footwork.
Well, watch, the left foot actually comes down first on the catch. There's the catch. That's one. And then the second one hits.
Green Bay led 14-10 and then fell behind 24-14 before scoring a pair of unanswered touchdowns in the first today for Freeman.
Number 4 is your guy. You know, he is the Green Bay Packers, in my opinion. because as he goes, that's how the Packers go. He can bring a team back from 10 points down, whatever it is, and bring you right back in a ball game that quick with precise passes like we've seen to Freeman and Mays.
One timeout with which to work Justin out of the gun. Throws the out route to Marvin Harrison. May have lost a yard. Well, I'll give him the mark forward. Pickup of Leroy Butler there defending on the play. Timeout taken here as Mike Holmgren and the Packers look to lead heading into the halftime dressing room.
On Fox, NFL Sunday, it's a war in the NFC East. Terry Allen and the Redskins look to pound Big D, while Troy Aikman and the Cowboys try to avenge an early season defeat. Don't miss all the action.
Down the field they go. Get him deep. Get him deep. Deep. Down the field. That's your dodge. Yo, he missed it. Spread. You got it right on the...
Now that's how you get a wide receiver open, baby.
It's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. The Redskins battle the Cowboys later today.
For all the out-of-the-ordinary occurrences that have happened to Mike Holmgren's Packers here in the first half, the bottom line is he leads with less than a minute to go prior to intermission. 28-24. Paul Justin has played very well. On second down, he has to pull it down. Being chased. Justin shovels it forward. Up to the 35-yard line to Sean Dawkins. And that's a first down, and he's out of bounds. Some improvisation, huh?
That was heads up. That was heads-up play. You know, he knew he was being chased by McKenzie on the backside of him, and he knew if he wound his arm up to throw it forward, he would have got it stripped again. So watch what he does. McKenzie's chasing him. He knows if he winds up, he just flips it out in front of him. Nice heads-up play by Justin, who looked back to see where McKenzie was, and also by Dawkins.
Reggie, Santana Dotson, Leroy Butler, outstanding strong safety. Trying to shut down the Colts at the end of our first half. On first down following the gain of 11, that was a very dangerous pass to throw intended for Falk, for here came the linebacker Brian Williams on the prowl.
Either Justin threw it a little bit too far or Falk didn't get up to where he was supposed to be, but that thing was beyond Marshall Falk.
But Brett Favre throwing for more than 200 yards, Bill, in the first half. Justin has 12 completions, 164 yards in the first half for Lindy, and a touchdown. He's not their regular starter, of course. Did not play last week. Kelly Holcomb did. Jim Harbaugh out with a broken hand as well. You're familiar with that story. Second down. Over the middle, grabbed by Bailey, who goes down right in the heart of the field. Now the Colts have to hustle up. They get downfield and will burn the timeout. And 21 seconds to go. Mike Holmgren does not want to allow Indianapolis to get into field goal range. Coming up next today on our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader, how about this classic NFL rivalry? The Redskins in Dallas to face the Cowboys. Don't miss this crucial NFC East matchup. The playoff race heating up. Coming up next, right here on Fox, except in Chicago and here in Indianapolis.
Oh, it's this play right here that cost the Colts the lead. Justin thinks he's throwing the ball. He's moving his arm forward. He gets hit. The ball drops back. I mean, that's the judgment call on the referee. Makes the call. He calls it as he sees it, and he believed the ball was stripped.
If you're wearing blue, his arm wasn't in motion. If you're wearing green and gold, Justin. The Colts now having used all their timeouts. Throwing again. He's got Harrison if he can get out of bounds. And he lost the ball out of bounds as if fumbling it that way, and that'll draw the flag. He knew he wasn't going to make the sideline, so he tried to throw it out of bounds. That's a flag. Over again, Al Jury. Number 106. It is a face mask, and it's against Green Bay. Forget about throwing the ball out of bounds. It's a gain of 14. Referee's telling Lindy that he saw it.
It's either going to be a 5 or 15.
Face mask, 5-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down. Number 33. Please set the game clock to 11 seconds.
Here's the throw to Harrison. And now watch number 41. Eugene Robinson's going to break on the picture right here. He's going to come in.
And he lost the ball when he was yanked down.
Evans, I didn't see the face mask. I didn't see. That looked like it was the collar to me. Now, they called it on Eugene Robinson, but it was Evans, actually, that was on it. Now, it looked like he had it on the collar. 33, watch where his hand is. That's on the collar.
Get him coming around back this way.
See where his hand is? That's on the collar.
Didn't appear to touch his mask, did he? 11 seconds to go. Close to field goal range. No timeouts, though. Everybody moves except Lowenberg. The center. Every official on the field threw his flag. Yeah, yellow flags everywhere. You're a head coach. What do you say to it?
Prior to the snap, false start, 79 offense. 5 yards, repeat first down.
They picked out Tony Mandrich's number. There were a lot of Colts moving, though, prior to the snap. Mandrich, a big game for him. Even playing on a gimpy left ankle, he wouldn't have missed this for all the cheese in Wisconsin.
That's a lot of cheese, too. But as far back as he's come back, no, you don't want to miss this one.
Justin to the boundary. Caught at the 25-yard line by Dawkins. That gets him into field goal range with 5 seconds to go.
And on comes Gardocki. Blanchard.
Another excellent performance by Justin to bring the Colts down the field against the Green Bay Packer defense.
You know, and I think that's one area after last week the defense played so well against the Rams. I think that right now at the halftime here, I mean, that's one area that Mike Holmgren can't be happy with.
Blanchard has made one from 42 and missed one from that distance. This from 41 to pull his club within a point of the pack. And it's good. And we're at halftime and what has been a wild first 2 quarters of play. Holmgren and the Packers lead 28-27. But the Colts have put up a fight.
I'll tell you, it's actually been a remarkable first half in the aspect of what the Colts have done. The Colts, you know, they came into this game. They want to beat the champions. They want to beat the world champions to salvage their season. Take something home with them, hang their hat on something. And the Packers defensively have really faltered. They've come in here, and as flat as the Packers offense looked last week, that's how flat the defense looks this week.
Just ahead, our Dockers Khakis half-timer.
The Packers, they haven't shown up today well either.
No, they have been stung on a number of occasions. Paul Justin playing very well, his bad left hand and all, able to connect with Harrison on the first TD of the game to put the Colts into the end zone for the first time today, to pull them within 5 at 14-9. That was on a 17-yard hookup. And then our highlight of the first half, controversy if you will, Justin late on our 1-800-collect play of this first half. Is this an incomplete pass or a fumble, Bill?
Well, it was ruled a fumble, so that's the way it's going to stand, and that's really what opened the door for the Packers to get back into it. Because off of that, they came right back and scored a touchdown.
Favre able to find Antonio Freeman in the back of the end zone for the lead. They now enjoy 28-27. And Brett and the Pack go back to work. Kicking off, Aaron Bailey for the Colts from the 5. Scoots up to the 20. And then is smothered at the 23-yard line by Keith McKenzie. So Paul Justin back on for Indianapolis as you take a look at the first 2 quarters of work. And well, numbers here, total yards very, very even. So are the turnovers. The time of possession, though, the ball greatly in the hands of the Colts.
Yeah, that's the big thing there. And that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to chew up the clock. And at the end of chewing up the clock and keeping Brett Favre on the sidelines, then you want to score. And they need to score at the end of the drives.
Pollard in motion on first down. Here comes Marshall Faulk out across the 30-yard line, and we'll emphasize that Gilbert Brown, the Pro Bowl defensive tackle, has been absent since injuring his ankle in the first quarter, and they run right at that position.
One of the things you want to do when you run the ball is you have to account for this guy right here, Leroy Butler. When he comes up over here, watch Faulk see him and watch where he cuts the ball back. They're all stacked over there, so he's cutting it back door. Nice vision. And you have to account for Leroy Butler on the field at all times, whether it's a running game or in the passing game.
Gain 9. Packers almost jump. Crockett earns the first down on the second play from scrimmage. Bob Kuberski having to fill in for Gilbert Brown. That's asking a lot today.
Well, look at where they're running the ball. Right up the middle. That's where their rushers are going. That's where they want to attack. Now, Gilbert was injured early, and as soon as he was injured, that's where they started running the ball. You started seeing, because early on, we saw those outside runs. Because we commented and said, no, we usually don't see the outside attack, the perimeter attack by the Indianapolis Colts. But as soon as Gilbert Brown went down, they came back and started attacking the middle.
3 receivers set. First down. Crockett back to the line of scrimmage, and it's the Navy man out of Annapolis, Bob Kuberski, who made the stop that time.
Well, I'll tell you, Kuberski made the stop, but watch the 2 tackles. Watch Santana Dotson and Kuberski together. Santana gets some good push here, too. He just jumps right over Kip Vickers. I mean, that's some athleticism right there. That's like a leapfrog technique. You can't teach anything like that. That's just reaction. He saw it coming, and he thought his best opportunity to make a play was to leap. That's some quick thinking.
It's Marshall Faulk at the bottom of your screen as a wide receiver. Second down play to Faulk, and it's caught close to the 40-yard line, and he falls across the 40. Hanging on to him was Eugene Robinson, the 13-year veteran at free safety.
You know, one of the things I asked Mike Holmgren, I said, what are you going to do when they move Marshall Faulk outside? Normally at this position right here. He says, I'm tickled pink when they move him out there. And he should be. Because Marshall Faulk is most dangerous as a running back. Hammering the line. And for the Packers defense, which has given up a lot of rushing yards throughout the course of the year, I mean, it's got to be a welcome surprise to see him lined up outside.
Indianapolis needs a first down. Justin throws for the first time in the second half. That's an incomplete pass. The big hit on Aaron Bailey by Mike Pryor.
He come up from the safety spot. Now, when you have nickel on the field, Mike Pryor comes off the bench and plays a strong safety spot. And Leroy Butler moves to the slot position. But watch him close on Aaron Bailey in the middle of the field. That was pretty close to being a fumble.
He's a former Colt. Is Mike Pryor, played with his franchise for about 5 years. He's from Indiana, Carmel, Indiana. And now Roel Preston, for the first time in his career, the former Falcon, will field a punt in a regular season game. He's done it in exhibition. How does he fare when the games count? Gardocki kicks it to him. He makes the catch inside his 10. Nowhere to go. Lamont Warren led the special teams hustle. For the Colts, it's a 52-yard punt, and he lost a yard. Did Roel Preston filling in for Schrader. Derwin Gray was in special teams hustle.
Well, that's what makes a long punt a good punt, when you get hustle like that and get it covered.
Favre off his own goal line is sacked. Dan Footman.
Dan Footman's a guy that's really stepped his game up since coming to Indianapolis. Watch the rush right here past Verba. They get the pull outside, and Frank Winters has to come over to pick him up, and they close it. And that was just a little stunt that went on, but Footman has really picked up his game since coming from Baltimore as an unrestricted free agent. That's a 6.5 sack this year. And all the years prior, he's had 1.5 or 2.5, 3 probably at the most, but he's really coming into his own.
Favre out of his own end zone, throws it short for his tight end. And Chimura with the defender draped on him. That was Elijah Alexander, makes the catch. Very short gain. There's Elijah now coming off. Passing situation on 3rd down approaching.
And the Colts defense needs that boost. They need it from Footman. Right now, he's the closest thing they have to a pass rusher. They're surely not getting it out of Quentin Coriat. For whatever reason, he has not been a factor to help this defense out at all. He's always had all the ability in the world, but he doesn't have. Their best pass rusher, Tony Bennett, is out. They need production out of Coriat and Footman.
Coriat does not blitz. Favre pumps, throws, diving grab. That's ruled a catch. And Antonio Freeman with a nice play across the 30 out to the 35-yard line. The Colts say the pass was incomplete. It's ruled a catch by Freeman. A gain of 25 if the play stands.
Well, this is a hairy deal to begin with. Watch Favre, though. Watch how he throws this ball. I told you, everything is Brett Favre. He's throwing it across his body. Now, watch right there. That looked like it was a trap. That looked like it had some turf in there along with his hands and his chest.
That our second controversial play of this game. Justin's fumble in the 2nd quarter late. And now Freeman's catch. 1st down. Here comes Levens with 3 touchdowns already.
Well, let me back that up a second, Paul. First, here comes Henderson.
You've said that a couple of times today, huh?
Hey, I mean, when he breaks the line of scrimmage and he is past the lineman, and Henderson gets back into the 2nd tier of your defense, where it's a linebacker, watch him right here, number 30. With a linebacker or safety or defensive back, they don't stand a chance. There's good blocking at the line. Now it's open up. There's the 2nd tier, and look at the block he gets on Blackman, the strong safety. You need your strong safety to come up and be physical and run support. Right there, Blackman's losing the battle.
Henderson, one of the best as a lead blocker in the NFL. Here's the blitz. They pick it up. He throws the fade, does Favre, and it's an incomplete pass at the 35-yard line intended for Derek May. Good job by that line of picking up the blitz on the part of the Colts.
Well, they saw Elijah Alexander 50. They saw him with the pressure up the middle. Frank Winters in there sound, and as was Aaron Taylor. For the Colts, you know, they've shown flashes defensively that they need to put together to get off the field. Their offense has been on a roll for the first half. Get the ball back in their hands.
Favre throws Henderson out of the backfield, taken down right at midfield by Ray McElroy.
And that's actually where Ray McElroy feels comfortable.
Coming up for the
and supporting, making a tackle, because he was a strong safety. He was formerly a strong safety. Now, he's played corner before in his career, but he's built as a strong safety. He moves like a strong safety. That's what he does well. But they've been so injured and hurt at the right corner position. Of course, you know, they lost Ray Buchanan. They lost Eugene Daniels. 2 years before that, Ashley Ambrose. The Colts have learned a lesson about cornerbacks and how important they are to a defense.
The blitz again against Favre. It's batted into the air.
Jump ball.
And picked off with Coriat. It belongs to the Colts at midfield.
I just got done saying they need a big play. They need to get the ball back to their offense. They need to turn this thing around if they want to make good of anything they've done the first half.
Monty Montgomery will get his hands in and knock it up into the air.
And that thing is tipped high. That ball is way up there.
The 3rd turnover in this game for Green Bay. The Colts in possession. A quick look at the NFC Central standings, most on the mind of Packer fans, and you will see when the day began, Green Bay and Minnesota were tied at 8-2, a game ahead of Tampa Bay.
Minnesota losing right now. That could slide into a 3-way tie as Tampa Bay is beating New England.
They're playing in a dome. Justin, the play clock set to expire, has to use his first of 3 timeouts. Look what is happening in the other dome today. Home of the Lions. Green Bay lost there earlier this season, and now Minnesota is getting thumped.
Yeah, and with Tampa Bay winning, if things go right, there could be a 3-way tie here. A 3-way tie for first place at the end of today.
Last time Tampa Bay won the Central Division, Doug Williams was the quarterback there.
The 79.
A long time ago. They went to the championship game under John McKay. They were also the last team not to win a game. And that is a dubious distinction the Colts are trying to avoid. It was an 0-14 run in their expansion year for Tampa Bay.
76.
And the Colts right now they've whiffed on 10 starts.
They're flirting with it.
Yes. They're hugging it, embracing it. First down following the interception. A lot of time to throw, and he comes underneath to Harrison. Gets about 8 yards. Had all the time in the world to find Harrison crossing underneath for a gain of 7.
Well, yeah, they have time. They have time. And one of the things they're doing that we were seeing a lot of, watch Dilger. Watch him take the backers downfield and create a seam underneath. See the depths right here? Now underneath, watch what comes into the picture. There's Harrison. They're having success today, the Colts, because one, they're giving Justin time, and two, they're using their weapons. They're using Dilger. They're using Falk and Marvin Harrison.
Marcus Pollard in motion. The handoff to Falk, and he's met right in the hole by Brian Williams, the linebacker. Let's update you on what's going on between Detroit and Minnesota. Out to Hollywood. Once again, here's James Brown.
Paul and Bill, even the fourth-rated pass in the NFC has a tough day. Brad Johnson throws a pick. Take a look. Mark Carrier, nice, nifty moves downfield. You think he's going to go all the way, but he gets to the one, sets up a Tommy Vardell touchdown. Detroit spanking Minnesota. 31-7. Back to Paul and Bill.
All right, JB, consolations for Packers fans here. It's been an uneasy afternoon in this dome for Green Bay.
Right, everybody likes a good spanking.
On third down, quarterback draw. First down for Justin. And he may have fallen on that left hand. Look at the pain he is in.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. I mean, he's been out there all day. But that thing's been hurt. He told us, we talked to him yesterday, he said this thing is painful. Yeah, he fell on it.
And he's back on his back on his feet, but doubled over in pain, trying to shake it off. He told us yesterday that the pain, while it is severe, eventually goes away, and he's trying to get it to abate now. Then the ball has to be snapped back crisply to him, and it's going to sting again.
It has to be snapped right, correctly. It has to be snapped in the back of his palm. If it's snapped up front, he's in a lot of pain. He said I'll probably fumble. Drive
continues. Justin to throw. Throwing for the end zone. And Harrison, and it's incomplete. May have been touched at the last moment by Eugene Robinson.
He wants to call. Harrison wants to call. He's mad. He wants to call, and he wants the call to go against Evans.
Doug Evans, the corner. Eugene Robinson, the free safety, had him doubled up.
Watch Evans and watch the contact here. See him getting the hands all over him. That's the call he wants. That's on the other side of it. It's a great break by Robinson, Eugene Robinson on it. But there's a lot of contact going on downfield there. That's not incidental contact. That's not just two guys bumping shoulders as he's running a route down the field.
They have worked on Evans pretty effectively, haven't they? On second down, the draw. Marshall Falk slicing through. First down, Colts.
And that's what I was talking about. Protection up front, and then using your guys you have. Using Falk, using Harrison, using Dilger. Look at the job here. Look at Lewinberg get up on Bernardo Harris. That's what you have to do when you run that draw play. And I haven't seen them run too many draw plays. It's one thing I haven't seen out of Indianapolis is draw plays and the screen plays and the outside runs. I'm seeing that today. And I'm also seeing some good line work.
Falk with his first 100-yard rushing performance last week against Cincinnati. Headed that way again. Toss sweep to the short side. Nowhere for him to run. Leroy Butler came up there strong. He's like a linebacker,
you know what's amazing
masquerading as a safety.
You know what's amazing about Leroy Butler? I think Aaron Taylor is down.
Maybe Santana Dotson.
Yeah, that's Dotson.
We've already lost Gilbert Brown. Now the other tackle, Santana Dotson, has to bring the medical staff over. An unsettling moment for the Packers, clinging to a narrow lead. To injury, Santana Dotson becomes even more invaluable to the Green Bay Packers, and he was able to walk off under his own power in a game in which few thought the Colts had a prayer of winning, but some divine intervention perhaps helping them.
If they win, and if they lose, she's here to read them their last rites.
Bob Kuberski, Jermaine Smith, a pair of backup defensive tackles. Now in their three-point stance. On second down, Justin trying to put the Colts out in front, finds Dilger again inside the 20. Ken Dilger, his third reception, and here comes Dotson back into the football game.
And Dilger, again, getting involved in this offense. That's his third catch of the day. He had 3 last week. They're getting him involved. Now, they moved the ball offensively last week because they were able to get him in there and hurt the middle of the defense. It's an all-pro type tight end. A lot of people think he's the best in the business, and his catches are down for the year. He's always around 45 catches a year since he's been in the league, but he's getting back up to speed. They're getting him involved in this offense.
An offense which now will run its 8th play of this possession. And Lamont Warren is stuffed on 3rd and needing a yard. It wasn't Marshall Faulk that carried the ball. Bob Kuberski filling in for Gilbert Brown with the play there.
Now they had a nice drive. 9 plays. They marched the ball downfield, chewing up the clock exactly how they want, and keeping number 4 on the sidelines. Keeping him over there watching. And when he's over there watching, he can't score points. And that's a smart game plan. And they've executed it. The Colts have executed it well offensively on the side of the ball.
This a 35-yard try to put the Colts in the lead, and it is good. Off the right foot of Kerry Blanchard, his 3rd field goal of the afternoon. As the 0-10 Colts lead the last 3 weeks, Green Bay's defense has been stingy. Today, though, against the winless Colts, they have surrendered. Well, the team has collectively 30 points, although the offense has allowed 2 defensive scores on the part of the Colts.
And I think the biggest difference is they don't have a pass rush. They're not all over the quarterback like they have been.
Strange Bedfellows back at the goal line. The man Roel Preston replaced. Bill Schrader aligns with him for this return. Roel, 2 yards in. To the 20. With Schrader leading the way. 40. Flag. Schrader will be flagged. For a block from behind.
Oh, my gosh.
Right at the bench.
Schrader comes into the game after he's been pulled off these teams. And the first play's in the lead block.
And it rains on him.
Right in front of the coach.
That's on Schrader. Mike Holmgren saying he just was starting to make us nervous, the way he would fumble or had a propensity to fumble. And just as importantly, he was developing a reputation with officials
block
for
in the
fumbling.
back during the return. Number 84 of the receiving team. 10 yards. First down.
Look at Mike. Look at Mike.
He's a little red, isn't he, Mike? Mike's a little hot.
But did you see Schrader? Schrader stood directly behind Mike. So whichever way Mike turned,
he was going the other way.
There it is right there. He went the other way.
Well, you have an injured Colt down 2. Play is stopped. That's Marcus Pollard, the reserve tight end. So Schrader, does it get any worse than this for him? First, the embarrassment of having your job taken away, and now when they send you back in there, you're flagged for the illegal block.
Well, the only thing he has in his defense is that it wasn't going to be a touchdown anyhow, because if it was going to be a touchdown, then it really would have been bad. But the guy was going to make the tackle. And also, even with the penalty, they're still getting the ball at the 31-yard line.
Here he is, number 84 at the 20-yard line.
He's going to block the kicker.
Of all people to hit. Out comes Roel Preston.
Right up here. He'd already done it. But there's where the tackle. Now, if that had sprung open and had gone for a touchdown, then it would have been even worse.
Off goes Pollard. Packers trail. Favre to do something about it. Throws out of the backfield to Henderson, who's been so effective as a hammering, punishing, blocking back. And here, rewarded with this reception, a gain of 20.
Well, sure, you know, you hunker down because you're expecting the big fullback to come in, so you step up as a linebacker. Morrison comes up, he acts like, you know, he's going to take him on in the lead, then all of a sudden he pops through the line of scrimmage. Right there, he comes up right through the middle. and the linebacker freezes for a second. Alexander freezes for a second, waiting for the collision. Next thing you know, he's by him.
And now blocking again. And the football is pushed down close to the 45-yard line with just over 2 minutes remaining into the third. And yes, Indianapolis, the 0-10 Colts, leading Green Bay. Bernard Whittington on the stop that time.
And Henderson with the lead block again. You know, Henderson we've talked about. He's blocking. He's been blocking well all day. But he's making the big blocks. Now, they need the rest of the offense around him to be blocking as well as he's blocking. To sustain the blocks, block downfield. Because other guys are making the tackle as Henderson's opening holes.
There goes Levens. Favre, who's been sacked twice, throws here, and it's skipped up incomplete. He just got it away. The pressure was coming from Elijah Alexander.
Elijah Alexander, Steve Morrison, double linebacker blitz here. Watch. Here he comes up the middle. And the back has to make that decision on who to block. When you have two of them coming at you, you have to pick up one of them. And that's what you're seeing around the league so much. You're seeing that they attack the protection. They find the weak side of protection. They find where the back is going to go, and then they overload the back with the responsibility.
A most important third quarter play. Favre throws, caught again by Mays. Down to the 15-yard line. First down, Packers. In front of Carlton Gray. He gains 32 on third down. Been a great homecoming for him, hasn't it?
No, I don't care what they say about the numbers or Brett isn't having the year he's having. I would never bet against this guy in any situation. In any situation. He throws this thing on a rope. He has protection up front. Look at that ball.
Ooh.
And also it was a great route by Mays in getting open. He's over 100 yards receiving today.
119 on just 3 receptions. Dorsey Levens works it inside the 5. It'll be first and goal, Green Bay. Adam Timmerman, the right guard, the block, and William Henderson, too. See the numbers? Young Notre Dame receiver in his second year in the National Football League.
He's having a heck of a day in his hometown. And they like him. A lot of Packers think he has the best hands on the team. Just that every time last year he had an opportunity to play, something would happen, an injury or something would always go wrong.
Favre on first and goal to Levens. He's cracked out at the 2-yard line.
Levens missed his hole.
And Whittington made him pay for it. Was it closer to the center there?
Yeah, it sure was. It was open. He just should have stayed right behind Henderson, and it would have been there. Now watch. When you get down to your goal line, follow your fullback. Look at the hole here.
Well, he was hunting what would have been his 4th touchdown. Instead, number 4 in the Packers go to the 4th quarter and find themselves on the short end of this score. Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages from The NFL on Fox finds the reigning Super Bowl champions on the first play of the 4th quarter, trailing, and it's second and goal. 3 tight end set. Favre wants to throw the football. Look out from behind. Down it goes at the 11. Kendall Shallow ran him down from behind.
Jason Belzer was the blitzer off the corner. He came from the far side, and he just kept pursuit. And Favre never saw him out of the back. There he is right here. Now watch. Favre never sees him. Now he misses McElroy at first, steps aside him, but he doesn't see him behind when it's too late. Then it's Kendall Shallow to wrap it all up.
Trying to throw into the corner. Belzer missed.
Well, that's it.
Finished by Shallow.
Belzer just staying with it, just staying after it.
Third and goal from the 10. Levens on the move. Blitz again. They come free. They hit 5, and it's tucked away incomplete. Intended for Freeman. Robert Blackman.
They're going to call personal foul on Coriat for hitting Favre.
And once again, our referee, Ron Blum, in the swirl of the storm.
This may be your third.
Roughing the passer.
This may be your.
A helmet to the face of the quarterback.
This may be your third controversial controversial call. They protect these quarterbacks. Watch 55 come right up the middle here on a delayed blitz. Watch him shoot outside. Now watch the hit. He lowers his helmet. He lowered his helmet.
Blow to the face to protect the two-time MVP in the National Football League, and then Blackman bats it away, intended for Freeman.
Well, that was a nice play. And Favre saw the blitz coming. He unloaded that thing in the face of pressure. He knew he was going to get hit. But when you're rushing the passer and you're that close and you're trying to get there, it's tough ball to pull back.
It's loud on 1st and goal. How about Levens to the 4? Elijah Alexander, the first there.
Well, they're playing with a lot of emotion down here right now. This is their 4th play down here, and this group is excited, and now they're going to be even more excited. They feel like the refs are against them. This group is anxious. We'll see how long they can keep it up down in here inside the 5-yard line.
2nd down approaching. Again, it's to salvage pride, if not a season of respect for a winless football team. Well, Frank Winters, the center, to spin that ball around. Levens off the left side, cracked inside the 1. No signal yet as to a score. The ball will be spotted inside the 1 on 3rd and goal. His head went across the goal line, but not the ball, Bill.
And here comes the extra lineman in.
Here comes the goal line unit.
Watch Blackman. He's going to see this thing open up and shoot right inside here to have this fill.
Oh. That was not a touchdown.
I'll tell you, I don't know where his knee was. I don't know where his knee was, but that looked pretty darn close right there to being in.
It is loud in the dome. Favre did not get in.
No. Quarterback keep right up the middle, and what push inside by the Indianapolis Colts.
Elijah Alexander on the surge. Stood his ground. It's 4th and goal. And the field goal unit is coming on, and the roof may blow off the dome.
Watch the surge right here. Look at the Packers go back. Boy, they really stuffed it up, and you're right. It was Alexander who really got that push for him. And this is a win down here. Even if they get 3 points, if it's a win for the Colts.
Longwell puts Green Bay back in front, but the defense will receive a thunderous and richly deserved ovation the way they've gone jaw-to-jaw against Holmgren and the Packers.
When his shoulder hit back here and the ball was up here, that was a great call by the officials to see that. See, his knees did not hit the turf because he was over top of a player on the body. His shoulder came down, that downed him.
From the 1-yard line, Aaron Bailey. Out to the 25-yard line. And here will come the Colts once again. Chris Darkins on the stop. Can the Colts rally once again in the 4th?
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. By Taco Bell. Want some? And by NASDAQ.
In the 4th quarter, and the All-Pro Reggie White is on the sideline for Mike Holmgren and the Packers, replaced by Gerald Williams as the Colts go on offense. On 1st down, Marshall Faulk around the right side, gets a block, has a man out in front, and Eugene Robinson runs him out of bounds upfield at the 45. That's been there throughout the afternoon, Bill, for Faulk.
You know, sometimes you just, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how tired you get, you got to keep Reggie White in the game. Especially with the game on the line. Watch Gerald Williams, his replacement right here. And watch what happens to him. Dilger gets a scoop on him. He gets dumped. And watch this open up for Faulk. I mean, with the game on the line away, and as bad as they've played defensively, you've got to keep him in the game at all times.
Ron Wolf, the general manager, signing Gerald Williams after he was released by the Carolina Panthers a month ago. Justin play action. Stands up. Throws underneath. Zach Crockett with a lot of room to run. 1st down at the Green Bay 38-yard line. Let's go out to Hollywood. Here's JB. What's going on with the Eagles?
Fallen Bill, 5 plays, 60-yard drive by Bobby Hoying as he hands off to Charlie Garner for the score that ties it with 40 seconds left. Hoying, despite being sacked 8 times, is 18 of 20. Philadelphia back in this one. Back to Paul and Bill.
Thank you, JB. On our McDonald's update, 8 sacks.
I guess that guard's still playing.
Justin on first down. Crockett pushed back. Santana Dotson shaken up earlier.
Well, he's having a heck of a ball game.
Yeah, isn't he back now solidly for Green Bay?
Yeah, he's really stepped it up. I mean, he's really trying hard since Gilbert Brown went out. Look at him stuff Wydell at the line of scrimmage. Oh, that is textbook stuff right there. I mean, he just takes Wydell, stuffs him at the line of scrimmage, discards him like used trash, and wraps up at the line of scrimmage.
And Reggie remains on the sideline in a most important fourth quarter march by the Colts. Crockett, a little motion, stepping up Justin to avoid the sack. Dilger again, close to the first down marker, and then he slips past it. Got away from Leroy Butler. They were wrestling right at the first down marker.
Right, Justin did an outstanding job of avoiding the sack, just being mobile enough to step past Dotson. Dotson beats Tarek Glenn to the outside. Watch him step up, just buying himself enough time to define Dilger downfield. And Dilger almost busts himself one right here. He almost gets away from Butler, and there was some open field. I'll tell you, I don't think the Packers have stopped the Colts all day. I think there was one time early in the second quarter they had stopped them on a 3 and out. Other than that, they've moved the ball downfield all day.
Here comes that sweep. Cutting it back up inside. Marshall Faulk goes over the 100-yard rushing plateau for the second time this season, for the second time in as many weeks. 103 yards on the day for Marshall Faulk.
I only remember seeing Roel Preston, the Green Bay Packers punt returner, out there one time today, Paul.
You're right.
I think he was only out there once, and other than that, the Packers defense have not stopped the Colts today.
Levens with a spectacular day.
How about the stats with Faulk and Levens?
Hetherington, the new lead blocker, on first down, blocking for Faulk. Down to the 10-yard line.
But I tell you, they're attacking that corner. They felt they'd had something there all day. Watch them take this out right here. This is where they get the push. That time, Gerald Williams went upfield, and then Seth Joyner missed the tackle on Faulk outside. They let Tony Mandrich let Williams rush upfield, then pushed him right by.
For 10 games, the Colts have been saying we coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Reggie's sitting there looking. I mean, he's got to know where they're attacking that defense.
They got a chance to beat the Packers. Inside the 5.
Let me show you the
Robinson on the stop.
Yeah. And again, that Gilbert Brown thing. Lenny Infanti's doing an excellent job in this game. Let me emphasize that. In this game of play selection. Watch what they do here with the 2 defensive tackles. Both of them are single block, and both of them end up on the ground, where Gilbert Brown usually mans that middle, and Zach Crockett just pounding the middle. But what they're doing a good job of mixing plays up. They're spreading the ball around. They're getting to the perimeter. They're pounding the middle. They're getting the tight end involved in the middle of the field, as well as Marvin Harrison outside.
On second down, hurdling. Warren inside the 5, down to the 2-yard line. They need about a yard to get the first. Bob Kuberski on the stop for Fritz Schmer's defense, and here comes Reggie White when it matters most. Said he had to spot Reggie White. Aging in his career. Out goes Gerald Williams. He too a 13-year veteran. Positional shifts. It's third down for the Colts.
Well, it's 3rd and goal, and actually they took the linebackers out. They bring in Darren Sharper and also Mike Pryor. This is nickel stuff for them, and it well should be, because here's the shotgun.
Inside, handoff, touchdown.
And and they should have left the linebackers in because that was Mike Pryor. That was Mike Pryor, who they just brought in on the sidelines, who has to play nickel backer in there, just got ran over. A guessing game, back and forth, back and forth. Lindy and Fonte creates a chess match. They go to shotgun. They spread the receivers outside. Shotgun, you're thinking pass rush. The defensive lineman came upfield. They run a draw right up the middle. It was wide open.
Lamont Warren with his first score. Get this, the most points surrendered by the Green Bay Packers.
See the shotgun?
This season.
Now watch the pass rush come upfield. Watch the defenders get upfield. Now look at that hole right there. That's wide open. And Pryor tries to step in and play linebacker. There was really no match for the head of steam that Warren had at that point. Look at the hole. Your defensive tackles get upfield as it's a pass rush as you line up in shotgun. Look at Justin. He's all fired up. He doesn't care. He's out there dislocated fingered. Done an excellent job of marching his team up and down the field.
Repeatedly today has Paul Justin. Warren capping this 9-play drive. The second 9-play march. They've had a pair of 7-play efforts and 1-10 that resulted in a field goal, and the Packers are disbelieving. They all count one. They count as much as Dallas. This game counts, as Mike Holmgren was saying, as much as San Francisco or Minnesota. It either goes in the left column or the right column.
Well, you're exactly right. At the end of the season, you don't look back and think, well, you know, that we won ugly, or as Fritz Shermer said, you lost pretty. I mean, it's all the same. I mean, you have to, a win is a win, and a loss is a loss.
And now to go for 2. They've converted once today. That came to Stabline diving in the end zone. A second time. This one is good again. Marvin Harrison.
Tyrone Williams got beat by Harrison. Right off the line. Great separation by Harrison.
Justin and the Colts in the 11th week of the season have the top team in the league trailing. Paul Justin, a profile in courage today, putting his Colts in front, playing in pain. First his hand, and now is that a cramp he's feeling?
That's what it looks like, cramping up a little bit.
And Mont Warren, who had scored a moment ago, may have a stinger. Roel Preston with a wall in front of it. Out to the 20. Finds the sidelines. Into the Colts bench at the 41-yard line. Keith McKenzie shoved it over the sideline, and now it's up to number 4 to make a 4th quarter comeback. Look at the remaining schedule for Green Bay.
Well, that's why this game couldn't be good and it can be bad. Because look what's coming up. Now, the Packers have played offensively in a slump for the last few weeks. This week they've opened it up. They've been productive. Their defense is in a slump. So they haven't been able to get it all together. This could be a wake-up call because that remaining schedule is a tough one.
And Green Bay trying to separate itself from the Minnesota Vikings has been unable to do so, yet here's an opportunity. First down. Far at his best, swings it out to Levin. Dorsey scampers out of bounds, picked up about 4 yards on the play. You'll recall at the outset of this game he had a big 56-yard run off a screen on the very first possession for Holmgren and Green Bay. All 3 timeouts in Mike's pocket. Indianapolis down to 2. We have 6 minutes remaining today. Lindy and Fonte, this would be sweet, wouldn't it? The first time that he has faced the Pack since being dismissed.
Well, it means a lot to him, but I think more importantly, I think with the guys he's worked with here, 0-10, they need this one.
The blitz coming across the line too soon for the Colts, and this is Levins, a free play. Levins inside the 30, shoved out of bounds. Carlton Gray coming off the corner appeared to cross the line prior to the snap for the Colts. It's a 30-yard gain. The play should stand.
Yeah, sure it will. And you see what they came back to? They came back to that screenplay that they got the big chunks of yardage off in the first drive.
Right at the outset of the game.
Offside, 26 defense.
Decline that.
Penalties decline.
Carlton Gray. The blitz was on. Now they ran a blitz on a prior play too. Now watch right here. He just gets into this neutral zone a little early. See his foot in there?
Mm-hmm.
But Favre executes it nice right here, buying himself some time and setting up that screen, keeping poised under pressure.
Packers flying down the field. Favre zips it. Freeman into the end zone.
Hey, that's just like their opening drive. How simple was that? Throw a screenplay and then go at number 40.
Displaying class are the Packers. 3 plays to retake the lead.
I'm going to tell you, and yeah, Levens has had a good game, and yeah, you get numbers by Derek Mays and Antonio Freeman, but that's the guy. Number 4 is the guy. Make no mistake about it. He is the sole reason for everything the Packers have done, in my opinion, for the last 3 years.
This to tie the game. 38-all. Freeman for a second time on the receiving end of a Favre touchdown strike. More than 300 yards throwing for Favre, and we still have a lot of football to be played.
Look at Brett Favre. He's over there talking to the defenders, getting them up. But look at these numbers. 18, 363 yards. I'm no math major, but Jimmy Stamos, the statistician, is here. That's over 20 yards a catch. That's unbelievable. And that's why I'm telling you that, yeah, those other guys are good. They're making the plays. But that's the guy. He delivers it under pressure. He keeps poise. He puts it on the money. That touchdown right there was right in the hands, and he never broke stride, Antonio Freeman.
Favre's best passing day in terms of yardage this season. Aaron Baylor still on his feet to the 25-yard line. We've been going back and forth between 2 outstanding quarterback performances today. Well, Tuesday on Fox, 2 legendary. The Dome in Indianapolis. The Rock is home of the Colts. With Bill Moss, I'm Paul Kennedy. We head to the finish line. Just over 5 minutes left.
Indy needs another drive, just like they've done all game. Chew up the clock, methodically move the team downfield. They've done it all day. They need to do it again.
Play action for Justin. Throws wide open, Delger. To midfield. And out of bounds in Green Bay territory.
Dilger really coming alive this game. What a time to finally use him when you're going up against the world champs.
His 5th reception of the day. That's better than a third of the catches he had coming into this game for 10 outings.
He only had 14 coming into this game, and that's his 5th.
As you take a look at scores from around the NFL on this Sunday. And of course, coming up, the Redskins and the Cowboys, always special. This has been pretty special too. Play action again. He throws. Harrison again.
Marvin Harrison. What a job he's been doing. Anytime he's got Evans or Tyrone Williams, he's had the ability to turn him around. He drew Evans one-on-one coverage this time. And watch what he does with Evans. This guy is shifty. He'll turn Evans around 2 or 3 times like a top. Watch him. Around, not which way is he going, and there's the separation. And Evans is a darn good corner. You know, he shut down Herman Moore. He shut down Isaac Bruce last week. But I think he's seeing a new level in this youngster right here, Marvin Harrison. I think he's something else.
And a new level by Paul Justin, who goes over the 300-yard passing plateau, joining Favre. Crockett upended as he comes into the line of scrimmage, chopped up into the air by Santana Dotson.
Yeah, but that's not a bad call. Even though there was 8 men in the box right here, that's not a bad call. Because what you're doing right now, Paul, is you're keeping that clock running. You ran the ball in there on first down. You're inside the 30. Now, remember, it's a tie game. You're late in the 4th quarter. So even though there was 8 in the box, and you're going to run in there, keep that clock running because they want to chew up the clock. They don't want to give the ball back to Green Bay after scoring with a lot of time left. Because we've seen Brett Favre doesn't need much time to get him downfield.
How about the 2 separate 2-point conversions today by the Colts? Both of those huge at the moment. Falk runs into traffic right at the line of scrimmage. And Brian Williams is there. Santana Dotson. Defense stringing it out. We're inside 3 minutes.
And the clock continues to run. The clock continues to run. Look at Green Bay's defense today. And Fritz Shermer is struggling. He was concerned coming in here. He said these guys have a lot of skilled people over there. I'll tell you what, you need to get a first down here, though. It's third. You need to get a first down. Just because of the way Kerry Blanchard's been all year.
Throwing quickly. Clock. Down to the 20-yard line.
And there it is.
Sean Dawkins. Yeah, he's all pumped up as Paul Justin.
Paul Justin is really using his head. He saw the matchups. He picked out Dawkins. They created a scenario offensively where they got Dawkins on Darren Sharper, the rookie. Watch right over here. And then he turns back outside, and what effort in finding the first down.
Do the Packers escape, or do the Colts win at the end? For pride, Mike Holmgren's Packers trying to avoid the embarrassment of being the first team that the Colts beat this year, and we have 2 minutes to go in a tie game.
Look at Holmgren. He is as mad as I have seen him in his career.
From the 20, on first down going in. To the 18 for Marshall Faulk.
They just burned a timeout here at Green Bay. They didn't want to get in a situation where the Colts just run the ball right up the middle of the field and put it down and chew the clock up and kick a field goal at the end.
Indy with 1 timeout remaining, moving into field goal range.
9 Pacific. Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Gateway 2000 Direct Personal Computers.
Kerry Blanchard, who personally has endured an inconsistent year, now finds himself perhaps the man of the hour as the Colts move into field goal range.
He struggled a little bit this year, and this would be a huge kick for him.
With less than 2 minutes to go, Faulk sweeps inside the 15, out of bounds 11, and a late flag.
Thrown by the field judge. Now, the field judge in the back there usually doesn't enter the picture and call the holding calls, because you're actually overstepping the boundaries of the umpire and the referee.
It's holding on the Colts, which could affect a possible field goal try. And our referee.
Holding, 32 offense,
Zach
10
Crockett.
yards. Repeat second down.
Well, he led this thing outside, so let's take a look to the outside. Crockett leads it. Let's see where he comes. Yeah, he gets a form tackle. That was a form tackle. It was a great call. Good awareness.
Tackled Brian Williams, the linebacker. Now you'd be looking at a 46-yard try or so by Blanchard. His best this year of 48.
Well, he has the leg strength to hit it. But it's been his recent failures that start putting that little bit of doubt in the kicker's mind.
Second and a long way to go. Again, Delger. Delger for the end zone, down to the 1.
They're down there. There's one way to eliminate that pressure of a field goal kick at the end of the game to win it. Let's get it down there around the end zone and have a chance to punch it in. Packers are looking around in disbelief.
Now Butler with the touchdown-saving tackle.
Dilger was wide open. There was no one around him. He's back behind the linebackers and in front of the safeties, and no one's around. The safeties went to the outside.
A timeout on the field in a thriller.
On Fox NFL Sunday, it's a war in the NFC East. Terry Allen and the Redskins look to pound Big D, while Troy Aikman and the Cowboys try to avenge an early season defeat. Don't miss all the action.
Down the field they go. Get him deep. Get him deep. Deep. Down the field. That's your dodge. Yo, he missed it. Spread. You got it right over.
Now that's how you get a wide receiver open, baby.
It's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. The Redskins battle the Cowboys next.
Look, here's Dilger. There's no linebacker over here. Here's a safety, Eugene Robinson. He breaks to the outside for Harrison, and Leroy Butler's over here somewhere. Now watch the middle of the field. Harris doesn't get enough depth on him, and there's nobody back here. Butler has to come from over here. He's all the way out on the wide receiver. Dilger's been a factor the whole game, and they get down there inside the 20, and no one is there to cover.
His 6th reception. Green Bay and the Colts a timeout apiece, and now falling on the knee. Are they just setting up for a field goal here?
Boy, I think they should just go ahead and just run it right in there at the half-yard line.
I think Mike's asking, what are they doing here? They gonna let this clock go out? Let the clock run? Use your last timeout? Put it in the hands, or in this case, the foot of Blanchard?
Well, I guess they're trying to eliminate. I think that's getting a little conservative. You're trying to eliminate the snap exchange. It's a timeout. Green Bay takes the timeout here and stop the clock. But you're trying to eliminate the snap exchange and the chance of a fumble down here at the 1.5-yard line. When you're 0-10, go put it in.
Come on.
Go put it in.
It looks as if it's going to be Blanchard. Again, the catch here by Dilger, his 6th of this football game.
Here's the safeties on that last play. And they just break to the outside. Look at the middle of the field. Bernardo Harris doesn't get down there. Through the course of this game, I mean, it should be emphasized as much as they're using Dilger. Hey, we got to cover this guy up down here. He's a weapon.
You take another knee. The Packers out of timeouts.
They are.
Yes, he does.
They shouldn't. They are.
Now you have Blanchard, who has been inconsistent. Nothing is assured. But you have the Packers, the reigning Super Bowl champions, right on the ropes. And your knockout punch is just going to be a little jab instead of trying to ram it in there, and you're winless at 0-10.
Hey, go for it all. At 0-10, go for it all. One win surely isn't going to save anybody's jobs around here by securing it down here like this. Go pound the thing in.
It comes down to one play.
And he could have run it in twice now, right behind Leuenberg. Well, they are. They're milking the clock. They're running it down. They're not going to give a chance to get far back on the field.
A year ago, a Pro Bowler. And now to post the first win for Lindy Infante and the Colts this year. On will come Kerry Blanchard.
Well, the way they have no faith in their coverage teams because they've given up some big returns to roll oppression. They have no faith in their defense because Favre scored on them very quickly on 2 series. So they march the clock all the way down to 3 seconds and eliminate any error at all.
When we return, Blanchard and the Colts will try and win it.
On Fox, NFL Sunday, our pregame team once again hits the road as they...
Kerry Blanchard has already kicked 3 field goals today. One of 42, one of 41, and the third of 35. This to give Lindy Infante and Indianapolis their first win of the season at the expense of the reigning Super Bowl champions.
Last week against the Rams, Bernardo Harris blocked the field goal, had a big push up in the middle, jumped up high, got his hand on the ball.
We'll call it a kick of 20, much like an extra point. The dome erupts, as will Mike Holmgren when he gets into the Packer dressing room.
With just cause.
41-38. Green Bay now 8-3. The Colts, their first win of the season. So for Bill Moss, this is Paul Kennedy saying so long from Indianapolis, where the final score is the Colts 41, the Packers 38.